I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AfterBuzz TV Drag Race fans. We are here discussing Season 12, Episode 12. We're ready to go into the finale, but now we have our top three. So I am your host, 123 Jackie B on all platforms. With me this week is Kenny Harrison.
Oh, hello.
Yay!
Cheers.
Mark J. Freeman.
Hello, hello, hello.
And Jayla Rocks.
I have my cocktail ready. Cheers.
Oh, I love that cup.
Thank you. It's very fancy. How fitting.
Yeah. Is it a Moscow Mule or is it's just a...
It's a Moscow tequila. How about that?
I love those cups. My cup is just a Starbucks mug.
It's okay.
You just gotta get what you gotta get. You gotta get what you gotta get. Well, what did you guys think of the episode? My initial thoughts were that I knew Jackie would go home because she had lip sync, had not won a challenge and had been in the bottom so many times. I just kind of assumed that would happen.
So we just cut into it. We just cut right into it.
Okay. Yeah, I just assumed that would happen. So I was not surprised, but I was disappointed because I do like Jackie. I think she's really funny. So
Beverly Hills. I'm sorry, Beverly Hills.
I'm like, I pay my bills. I pay my bills this month. I promise.
The slums of Beverly Hills. Sorry, go away.
The police are coming for your shade.
I know, right?
I see.
Is it like my neighbor? What's going on?
So we're just gonna pause.
No. Well, because I couldn't hear anything.
Right,
well, maybe you should.
Yeah, let's just mute Mark right now. Sorry about that, guys.
Live, honey. We love it.
It's good now.
Okay, so Kenny, what did you think of the episode?
We were talking about it before we went on air. Jayla mentioned, sometimes you need a break from Drag Race, and I felt that a few seasons ago, and I feel now the show is even better than it was before. And this episode was one of my favorites this season. I don't know why. I mean, these queens are all good. And I think the dog is telling me to shut up by barking. But
he disagrees.
I know. But I liked this episode. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun.
Mark, what did you think?
I liked it. There were a couple things that I think that we missed out on. I don't know if you guys noticed, but we'll discuss later.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. Y'all are being really secretive and stuff. Y'all got the police coming after you from your opinions. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to say that this episode definitely was one of the most, I've never cried on a Drag Race episode ever. Mm-hmm. And this was one of the ones that I cried when Heidi went home, but I legit cried. And it was tears of happiness because I'm so happy for these girls. We saw them go up and down this whole entire season. And I feel like just to see them finally reach the finish line all together is something that's very sentimental about that moment. And we'll talk about it.
I do think that, Kenny, I do think that this is a particularly good season, which is odd because they have the whole Sherry Pie issue. But I think this season is particularly good because once you have a show that's been on the air for so long, you can either jump the shark or continue to really refine it. And I think that Drag Race has continued to really refine what the show is, what the show is about. And not to mention, I'm sure that with its continued popularity, the contestants just keep getting better and better and better. I mean, it's incredible. It was like watching the top five, there was not a thing wrong with them. So it was really hard to think well, who would be in the bottom after this challenge,
Yeah, agreed.
I would just like to take a minute to say thank you to those who are joining us live. Joseph Boza, Rihanna again, Devin is the one.
Hey. Wait, is this the real Rihanna or is this?
It's the real Rihanna, honey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I need to go put on a different shirt. I need to look my best.
Well, why do you think I got all this makeup on?
Well, you always look good. That's why.
I know.
Chucky Chuck, Ken, Theo Hutton, thank you guys so much for joining us live. If you comment on iTunes or YouTube and give us 5 stars or a thumbs up and make a comment, you could be the fan of the week. So please comment. So we had the mini challenge, which was a Vegas showgirl headdress competition. I'm still a little confused as to whether or not they actually made them or just designed them.
They made them.
They made them?
I think they made them, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of the mini challenge?
I think
it was fun.
Yeah. I think my only problem with the mini challenge is that there's really no criteria to pick a winner per se. So it's basically, you could have argued the case for any of them to win. And since the prize was a legit prize, like 2 tickets to Vegas, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, I thought Gigi was fine, but I didn't think she was the funniest per se.
Well,
like, No, go ahead. I'm done.
Well, I just like kind of just watched it to be just as campy as any other mini challenge. I didn't really think like there would like, it's just, okay, we're almost done. Let's just do something, But there was, when I got to Jackie's part, when she had the gray short wig on, I could have sworn that was Katya. Did no one else feel that? Did no one else see that? Like that was Katya's face. Like it was just so weird and uncanny. But it wasn't anything that would like. It wasn't iconic as a reading challenge. So I mean, it was just another one.
Which they haven't done this season. They didn't do.
They did. It was reading challenge brought to you by Tinder's box of faces or something. I have no idea. I don't know what the box was. But it was a box of stuff.
Like I've been saying for the past 4 episodes, this is all about, it's not about the mini challenges and who can be funny. It's all one big audition. Who's gonna sell those tickets? Who's gonna make sure that they pack the house out, even in Vegas? You know what I mean? So you have work where you have all the other opportunities. So this was just another way to for Jamal to pick out who he wants for the next round of girls.
I do like that this whole episode was like a big plug for Ru's live Vegas show and almost a big audition for it as well. Which unfortunately,
I do find it weird and ironic that she's plugging the show, but we can't go and see it right now because we're all locked up in our homes.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I know. But I've seen clips of it and I've been wanting to go so bad. But this episode definitely sold me to definitely go to the Flamingo and check it out. So maybe we should do a post-corona trip when they bring the show back for the residency.
I'm good.
No. Okay.
No,
good to know. I'll give you tickets to the Blue Man Group. Okay.
No, you just give me a zoom in and I'll zoom in when you're actually there.
Got it. Good to know.
Mark, what did you think of the mini challenge?
I thought it was a good setup for the Maxi challenge. Sometimes they just seem very random. So I thought it worked well. They were obviously making a statement about Vegas. So
I like seeing, what the queens came up with for the headdresses and whatnot. I was overall impressed by everyone. I also like how now I see, you guys will see when we discuss our celebrity episode, but they reordered the celebrity episodes, and I see because they had a Vegas themed mini challenge in the celebrity episode this week. So I thought, well, maybe they reordered the episodes so that the Vegas ones lined up into hopefully a big plug for everybody to go to Vegas after this, but unfortunately we can't. And then we had the rehearsals. Love seeing those rehearsals. The dancing in the rehearsals was hilarious. I'm glad that you see their progress where they work in their rooms or whatever, and then they're able to fix whatever problems they had. But there was some Jackie was killing me and Gigi with their dancing. It was so funny. And then Jada singing was just so bad.
What was the movie? It was John Travolta and it was Jamie Lee Curtis. And they were doing this eye dance in the 80s and they were like humping and they were like smoothing it around. Do you know what I'm talking about? And John Travolta had these little shorts on and they were like zooming in on his bulge and he's like humping the mirror. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Somebody knows. It's
IMDb.
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna definitely tell me in the comments. But I enjoyed seeing Jackie do her, hit and pop thing. It was very like every bone in her body was loose. It was enjoying to see. But what I really like about the rehearsal is that when they do the recordings, I love to see that they always show from the shoulders up. Why? Because, say it with me, guys, there are no chords.
I never thought of that.
Yes, there's no chords plugged in, so I hate seeing the back of the jacks of the mixers and everything like that. So they're on a stage and there's no plugs nearby, so there's no chords to run through. So you just see them shooting, and I'm like, well, what are they recording?
I never thought of that.
Thank you. It's called Staying Alive. Thank you guys so much for that.
Oh, the sequel to
Saturday Night Fever.
Fever, yes.
I forgot Jamie Lee Curtis was in that.
Yeah, she's the teacher.
Yeah, that was not that the first one was good. I guess people in the 70s thought it was good, but
Shea button.
The plot is terrible. So there was something else that I was thinking about with rehearsal, and now it just totally went out the window. Oh, with Jada.
Oh, sorry. Correction. It's called Perfect, not Staying Alive.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Jada, they make her sing like a scale, and they didn't make any of the other queens do that, or maybe they were making the other queens and we didn't see it. I always kind of wonder about those things where if you know that a certain queen can't sing, then you kind of like milk it to hear more out of them,
I didn't get that they were actually singing until I rewatched it, and they made a comment about Gigi's singing. I thought they were lip syncing to something that was already pre. You know how they have some certain musicals that are already pre. They already have the tracks too. Yeah. I didn't know they were actually singing. I thought they were just doing the rap part. So.
Yeah, they're singing, but I think with the rap part, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I thought with the rap part, it was that they actually wrote that rap part because the other stuff was actually like pre-written. They were just singing it. Yeah.
Well, I was watching with a group of friends who actually went to the live show, and those two songs are actually in the show. But I just assumed like they took those numbers like Shangela had already sung it before, and they were just lip syncing to it. I didn't know they were actually re-recording the lyrics themselves. That was where I was confused.
You'll notice when, and this isn't me calling her out because I love her, but you'll notice when Jada's singing, it's heavily auto-tuned. So,
well, hey, I'm heavily auto-tuned, okay?
But I'm just saying, like, sometimes it is hard to match someone's like singing voice with their regular voice, but I noticed that like when Jada's singing part came on, it was like auto-tuned to the gods, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, so she even said it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say she even admitted it herself that she's not a singer, so I'm not surprised by it.
So what you're saying, Kenny, is that the songs that they did in the show for the Drag Race is actually in the live show.
Yeah. Okay, so the mirror moment and the we made it, the first two parts were already in the third part. They're all in the show. So,
okay, that's what I was hoping for. I was like, that opening was like, I would love to see them come back in what they wore for the show, like the first time opening. Like it was so like Legally Blonde-ish, so it was great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's go into the Maxi challenge. What did you guys think of the Maxi challenge? I said earlier that, we find out by the end of the episode that they're going to judge the queens on their whole body of work for the entire season, which makes sense because when you watch the Maxi challenge, it's like they are perfect. It's so good, and their choreography is on point, and some of that choreography was like harder than I've seen for other seasons. Yes. So there was a lot that they had to do, and I thought it was really impressive.
Agreed. Well, we'll get to it later, but like there was certain ones that were, in my opinion, way better than the other ones that the judges later, or Michelle Visage says later. So we'll talk about that later. But I was thoroughly entertained the entire time. Like I thought it was a great challenge, and I agree with you, Jackie. Everyone did well. Like no one person really stood out from anyone else, except for maybe Jada. I thought she was the best, in my opinion. That was by far, she did only. Oh, and yes, editing had it to where she was fucking up. Am I allowed to messing up earlier? And then you see her; she actually does well in the actual when it comes to performing. But having said that, I think she was robbed of a win tonight, or last night, or 2 nights ago, whenever it aired.
I have to say that this is maybe an unpopular opinion, but this musical, Vegas Live, goes up there. Maybe, I'm sorry, I hate that I have to say this. It's like might be the new number one under, and Reggie Roach might be like under number 2. I think Vegas just top number 1 for me.
It was really entertaining. I mean, it makes you want to see the Vegas show. Mark, what did you think?
Yeah. I thought overall it was good. I think they are all like close in the competition. I think it is a tight top 5. Obviously I have preferences. I agree with Kenny. I think Jada was hands down the best. I think she shouldn't worry about the sound of her voice because she's obviously not a live singer and she's not going to continue to be a live singer. So at least she could be auto-tuned and still look and sound great. I thought Jada was the only one really performing the songs. Like I felt the other people, one in particular, was performing what they thought, how they thought they should be performing the song. Not just
who was that? Who was that person you thought wasn't performing the song?
Gigi. And her outfit, that outfit was absolutely horrific. And the fact that no one's called her out, it looked like it was made out of felt. It was horrendous. Anybody else came out in that outfit and they would have gotten red. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. She should not have won that challenge.
Do I hear bullets flying? I hear bullets flying.
I'm ducking. I
agree totally with Mark. I agree. And I wanted to add on to what Jayla said earlier. And I think this is one of the top musicals. And this may be a little shade, but they pulled it directly from the live show. So they've had time to tweak it and refine it and to put it into, make it fit for this particular challenge. So I think that's why it was really well done. So I agree with you. I agree with Mark. We're agreeing this time, Mark. I wasn't Team Gigi this week. Sorry.
I was seeing Gigi because she had the red hair. And it was very Britney Spears toxic look. Like I was feeling it. Like when she came out.
J-Lo wore it better.
She knew her angle. She knew where the camera was when they were doing the 360 crane. Like she knows the setup now. So she performs for the setup. She's not performing for Ru. And I think that's really good. I think that's what a performer needs is like, damn you. Like when you perform on stage, you don't perform like to the audience. You perform in that spotlight. You look in that spotlight and you give them all of that. So then they can admire that you're in your own world. You know what I mean? So I felt like watching her, I was like, Yes. Okay. She knew the placement. She knew how the production was going to set up. She knew where the 360 cranes were going to be, and she killed it.
But I think go ahead, Mark.
And Kenny, I think you can attest to this. And,
Y'all are ganging up on me now.
No. This isn't you.
Okay.
I can be made fun of for being the elder, and I have no problem being the elder of the group. But Kenny and I are close in age, and I think Kenny can attest to this, that as you get older, that saying older and wiser, you start to be able to smell the BS and be able to see phoniness. So when you guys get to that place and that age and this wisdom, you'll start to see a lot of the things when you rewatch the season.
Okay,
and what is that? Be specific.
Okay, go ahead.
Just I think some people, I think Gigi is completely phony. I just think it's fake. I think she, like most of the queens that get on the show, are doing what they think they need to do to be, and she's obviously doing well, and they obviously like her, so she's doing well. But when you watch Jada, Jada is so herself. She's not, you can tell she's not thinking about, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? She's just in it. And even Gigi's confessionals, like when she says the thing, oh my God, I almost vomited when they cut to her confessional and she's like, yes, God, I'm going to go to Vegas with my mom. Oh my God. I was like, who? Like it didn't even, like, she's never said or sounded like that ever on the show. You know what I mean? Like, it's nonsense to me. She should not win. She better not win. It's Jada's to win, hands down.
Okay, two things. Mark, I'm only 21, bitch. Two.
No, I'm only 21. So you must be 25.
Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, I'll take 25. Thank you. No, I have to agree with Mark, and I think what Mark is trying to say is that when especially in this particular challenge, I could see Jada performing that way on stage at Mickey's. So It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she's on stage at Mickey's, in the back hallway behind the alley, or on stage on RuPaul's Drag Race. Jada is giving you Jada every time. Yeah. And Gigi and some other contestants are calculating. They're calculated because they're like, okay, so if this happens, this is how I'm going to perform. If this happens, this is what. So I'm not saying there's a right or a wrong, but I tend to agree with Mark on this, is that there's something about an authentic performance that Jada gives as opposed to a calculated one that sometimes Gigi gives. And I'm still only 25 years old, bitch.
I mean, if you like, I'm not telling somebody.
Move on, Jackie.
All I'm going to say is this.
If you like Gigi, super. I'm here to give my opinion and what I see and how I feel, and that's it, plain and simple. Will I be tipping her at Mickey's? Probably not, but I don't really tip anybody. So if you like them, I'm sorry that you had to hear that, but go now do your podcast and talk about how much you hate me. I don't care.
Oh, actually, my new episode will be up about how I hate Mark this Monday, actually. So maybe.
Can I be a sleeper guest on that?
Oh, my only issue about how they were judging the main challenge was they openly say, we can't pick, we don't know who, like, you guys are all amazing. And then they just pick Gigi. So that was because I'm a person who thought they were all equally good, and the panel thought that. So it was weird to me to have them then just pick one person out, especially when later on, then they're talking about, okay, well, we're judging you guys on your body of work. It's like, okay, well, when you look at someone like Jada, who has won the most challenges at this point, then isn't that, like, if that's what your track record is, isn't that who you're picking? And I guess one of my main questions to you guys is like, and this was a question they had on Untucked, it's like, how do you how do you tally someone's track record? Because Crystal was saying, well, I feel my track record is like I came from the bottom and I went to the top. And then, you know, Jada was saying, well, I have the most wins. And then like Gigi admitted it's like she had a win and then a down and then a up, you know. So like, what do you guys think would be fair? Or what do you think would, like, how do you think they should be assessing people based on their track records?
They should do it honestly. Like, and maybe it was because of the editing, because they had to get Sherry Pie out. I thought Sherry Pie was the least favorite of like the performances. There was just something about her that it's just, talk about calculated. She's calculated, and I don't think that she's her authentic self all the time. But she doesn't count in as far as what we're talking about. But it comes down to RuPaul, I guess. I mean, it's her show. She gets to decide who she wants as a favorite. So I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer for that question.
Does she?
I mean, sure. You know, I don't know.
Jayla, who would you, like, when it comes down to track record, who would you say, okay, like you're in the top, or you're lip syncing because of their track record?
Hearing what they said about the track records, I have to go with Jada, because like the way that Ru lit up when he was talking about Jada and he was like, you know, this person is just, you know, all of these things, and I'm like, yes, like this is what we need. As far like Jada is she's kind of a pageant girl too. Like her Facebook and everything is just very like poised, and she knows what she needs to do, but she'll put on a show. So the thing is, I feel like you won't have to worry about her not being disliked by people unless they're racist. You know what I mean? Like she's not talented. She can dance. She can put, if she does put on a rap song,
she's funny.
We'll listen to it. She's funny. You know what I mean? So she'll put on that one woman show that we need. So the only reason that people don't like her is because, you know, she's not thin and white.
Oh,
Mark, you're agreeing over there.
Now back me up.
True.
The producers,
I agree,
also try. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So has anybody else noticed that they've been trying to like F with Jada this whole season? They called her LeBron in the tags. They call her LeBron Essence Hall. They called her in this past episode Jada Essence Ball. Like they're just like messing up her name. I'm just like, put some respect on her.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, no one did. So I'm like, come on now, get it right.
Well, I think coming into the competition, and this is how I read Jada from the beginning. When she came through the workaround, I was like, oh, she's going to be the problem child. She's going to be the one that is going to disagree with everybody, and she's going to be the bitch of the season. And I think that's where you're kind of going with that, Jayla. I'm assuming is that they need an antagonist, and because we clearly this season, these last 5 this is best friend race because they all get along. So, but I do tend to agree with. Overall, the show has always leaned to the skinny white young girl, and
yeah,
it has been ripped on it plenty of times. And I think that it's important to show diversity, and it's important to show that the show isn't looking for a specific type. So yeah, I agree with you, Jayla, 100%. I think. I just also think that like Jada has to work twice as hard as the other girls because of that. And I think that it's going to be, it's one, unfair, and it's two, it's going to play into her advantage in the long run.
Right. So it's all about how you think of it, because growing up, you and I have always been told to work twice as hard to get half of what they want. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or what they have. So that shouldn't be something to be like, okay, well, let me do too much. You know what I mean? Let me just do what my just enough is double the time. So I have to put crystals on my face when Crystal can wear glitter and a purple suit. You know what I mean? Like, so I have to do extra, you know what I mean, to get the same notoriety on a level playing field. So I feel like with her doing that, and for her to get this far, because we know the Black girls don't make it far, girl. So for her to get this far and be seen as a level player and not be like, well, we like Gigi and Crystal and Jackie, but not Jada. You know how people do. And for her to get the same playing field as the fans to win over, you've done something right. And that shows to me that we love you. And we haven't had a Black queen that everybody loves since Bob.
Even then, I didn't think Bob should have won. Next topic.
Ooh, all right, honey.
I like Bob. I like Bob. Wasn't that Kim Cheese? Never mind. Next topic.
I do think though there is like, not only is Jada gorgeous, like every time you see her, she looks flawless, but and she puts in her all into her challenges, but she's funny. I didn't expect her, because you see someone and you think, okay, this is a pageant queen. I did not expect her to be funny. And she is. She's really funny. And I think that having like a well-rounded personality should be, what you want for America's Next Drag Superstar, someone who can like do everything,
Can we do Runway? Do we have time? Runway?
Oh yeah, no, we're doing Runway. Let's do Runway. Mark, do you want to do like your quick Runway? Just go down the list of what you liked and didn't like.
I mean, I can nitpick, but I thought overall, again, kind of like the challenge, I thought they all looked good. I can nitpick little things here and there for probably each of them. I liked, had Jackie had a different colored lip, I think Jackie was the best she's ever looked. And with a few tweaks to Crystal's costume, I think that was, perfect Crystal. And I think Jada just looked, as soon as she came around, I just was like, she can't do wrong. She just always looks perfection on the runway. She doesn't drop the ball on the runway. So those were probably my top three, with some tweaks to two of them.
Jayla, what did you think of the runway?
Okay, so it was so hard to like go through and say who I liked and didn't like. So let's say this: I liked them all, but I have my top three, and my top three in no order: Jada, Gigi, and SP this week.
Oh wow,
that was my top three this week.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Okay, so you agree with somebody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we right here.
Yeah. Kenny,
what? Okay, I've got two of those. Jada, hands down, hair to fucking toenail or effing toenail, absolute perfection. I really like Jackie Cox. I thought she looked stunning. It was something different. And for the third one, I'm on the fence because I forget who said it. Carson might have said it. I'm blanking on her name. Crystal. What she came out with, only she could pull that off. Nobody else could pull that off. It wasn't my favorite. And then Gigi, I like the concept, but it wasn't like a wow for me. So my third, those are my, they're going to be honorable mentions for me this week. I actually didn't like Sherry Pies. I thought it was something, it looks like something she had already wore. It's the same kind of silhouette kind of Sherry Pie thing.
It was her, exactly. And that's the thing is, because if she didn't have a silhouette, they would read her same way they did Vanjie for not having a silhouette. Yeah. They didn't read her for wearing red the whole season. They read her for not having a shape. So SP brought a shape, and SP's design was detailed all the way through. And people are disagreeing in the chat that they don't like it. But like I said, I thought it was amazing. I thought the outfit was amazing.
I thought because, to build off what Jayla was saying, it's like, I always think that the last runway is, even though they give it a name, like this week it's Eleganza Extravaganza, I always feel like the last runway before the finale is like your best version of you, And so I like to see the queens do something that like, so SP picks like a silhouette that's like very traditional to her, but it looks well put together, or Gigi picking something that is like, she tends to do these outfits that are very like character driven. So she did another like character driven outfit. Jada did something that was very glamorous, and that's her been her runway look, you know, like her signature look. So I do like it when the queens like do something, because I feel like they're gonna get red anyway if they do something that's like not cohesive with who they are, you know.
Yeah.
So okay, we had a moment in Untucked where the queens are hitting the shade button, and it reminded me of us here because they were using the same shade button that we have.
Yes. It's on sale right now at worldofwonder.com. That's pretty much what it was. They were just plugging in to sell it. That's all.
Yeah. But what did you guys think? Like, I liked that they were calling out like the shadiest moments of Untucked. I do like that there's this level of awareness now that, that you know, you can be shady and Untucked, but there has to be a moment where you're like, I'm on TV, I got to forgive this person, you know, because I probably have to work with this person again. This season Untucked has seemed to be less like outright catfighting than previous seasons. So I do like that they kind of like called each other on their shadiest moments. What did you guys think of that moment?
I liked it. I mean, aside from maybe Aiden Zane early on, there really hasn't been much like disagreements. Having said that, I hate everyone who knows me from season 5 knows that I always talk about the editing, but they literally had to rework the show to take as much of Sherry Pie out. So I wonder, had Sherry not done what she'd done, how very different like everything would have been. And I'm very curious because I was keeping in touch with a friend in Australia who were getting the original show as it was originally supposed to air, and then they started getting the recut.
And they love her.
Yes, and they loved her. And early on, it was basically a show of Gigi versus Sherry. Not so much shady, but that was their competition. Those were the two to beat. And now
that's what I heard too.
Yeah, and so the way I see it now, it's basically Crystal and Jackie Cox redemption season, all in one season, and so it's a very different show from what I've heard from people who don't live in the States. I will say that I kind of want to plug Jada again because not this week, but a couple of weeks ago in Untucked, Heidi mentioned how she gotten tips. Her makeup tips from Jada. If you go back to the first episode, her makeup was busted. And I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, the last time I was here, that she should get pulled aside. Like she should pull aside Jada and Widow and get some makeup tips. And you can tell when she left that her makeup did a whole 180. And I'm putting money that Jada helped her out the most. And so that's another reason why I'm team Jada at this point. It's like, she was the one person I wasn't really feeling at the beginning, but now she is like, I think she's unstoppable. I think this crown is hers to lose. And that's all I have to say about that.
I think so too. Like when we go back to track record, it's like, well, I mean, it's nice to see a trajectory of someone, you know, come from being obscure to like winning, but Jada has been consistently in the top the whole season. So I do think like you have to honor that merit. Like it's so hard to be consistently good throughout an entire season of something.
Yeah. I also noticed this too, that we didn't get the fake What's the Tea podcast. We didn't get the TikTok conversation with Ru. Maybe for All Stars now. But I watched the mirror moment this week. Have we got to that yet? We'll just glance over it.
No, we can just go.
Yeah. So it wasn't what we've seen in the previous episodes about just, you know, let me just share my heart-warming story with you guys and want you all to feel bad with me type gig. It was them like reminiscing and lifting up each other. What was the first thing you thought about me? Like we actually see the queens bonding and within this competition setting. And I feel like that's what the mirror moments should be about. Like when the drag queens are getting ready backstage, you just put a camera back there. That's its own show in itself. So having them to just naturally do conversation and see each other, see them helping each other, or girl, you should do this, girl, you should do that, would be a lot more better for the sake of the show, rather than, oh, my uncle died and now I feel sad, and my uncle died too, and my uncle died 3, and then it becomes that. You know what I mean? Like, seeing them like reminisce about the show itself and talking about how they learn from each other should be those mirror moments before we send someone home.
And I do like they ended with like a circle of trust where they squeezed each other's hands with that funny moment where like Jackie crushed Jada's hands. And I was like, she's holding that big like ring on her finger. Like, I'm like, how was she able to crush her hand with that big jewel on there? Jackie's got a strong death grip. So the final lip sync was Crystal versus Jackie, which was again like just I guess like Gigi managed to skate out of the bottom because she had, you know, won more challenges than Crystal. But it just seemed that, you know, if you talk about Crystal going on a trajectory like this, it was like Jackie had not been doing well in the past, or not Jackie, Gigi had not been doing well in the past several episodes. So I guess like they picked it based on, I don't know, number of wins ish, kind of. I don't know.
I think RuPaul just did any, mini, miny, mo in her head, and that's how the chips fell. I will say 2 things here. I've already said Jada should have won. I thought Sherry Pie should have been in the bottom. I thought Jackie should have been in the bottom. However, having seen the lip sync, I love Crystal to death, but Jackie was in it. I thought Jackie's lip sync was a little bit more entertaining, maybe because I saw more of it. But like I think, I mean, if you're picking on lip sync, whoever like did the best lip sync, I think Jackie won hands down, in my opinion.
I think that she did what she did the last time with Heidi and overacted the song.
Really? Interesting.
Very.
I liked it. I mean,
you don't see J-Lo kicking her shoes off like Patti LaBelle, crawling over stage, lifting up her dress, hi la 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 la. No, ma'am. I don't like it. It wasn't cute. And you can see when as soon as the shoes came off, Crystal looks down, looks at Ru like, what is this? Ru goes, confirmed. I'm sending you home.
Well, you guys, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. I just want to give the fan of the week and the quote of the week. Yes. Fans of the week this week are Cito, who said, a solid 28 is Mark's social media nickname.
What?
A solid 28 is Mark's social media nickname, because in the last episode you said you were a solid 28. Okay. Maximiliano Aguirre, who also loves puppets. Thank you. And then I'm so sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Alan Galbraith, who said they were a big fan of ours. So thank you guys. You guys are the fans of the week. Mark, what is the quote of the week?
Quote of the week is going to go to when they were recording their music, and they said to Jayla, "Have you recorded live before?" She said, "They would not allow me."
The awareness, she knows.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you guys who you think should win, but it seems like our panel, like we never agree on the same queens almost ever. And it seems so like this panel is like a solid Jada panel right now, which is awesome.
I would even throw in that they should allow Jackie to be in the 4. I think they should make a 4. I think it's only fair.
I thought they should have done that too.
I think it's only fair.
No.
Mark's saying no. Well, anyway, they're gonna stream it from their living rooms, so it's not gonna be like, you know, like on the stage production. Oh, Jayla.
Now let me say something. I got some inside tea, so this is gonna be part of like blending it all in. Here we go. I got a preview of some of the finale looks for Drag Race season 12. And let me tell you, y'all are in for a treat. From the beginning to end, these girls pull it out. And the girls are not playing with you this season. So the reunion and the finale, I cannot wait for y'all to watch it.
I'm so excited because, you know, there's a level of like sadness when you're not seeing it like on a big stage with a big audience and it has that kind of enthusiasm. So it's great to hear that like they're still gonna wow us from their living rooms.
Yes, they are.
Any last thoughts before we go into Secret Celebrity Drag Race, which you guys should stay tuned for? And you guys, we will, in news and gossip on that episode, talk about the Canadian queens, because I know you want to hear that.
Yes.
Any last thoughts? Nope. Okay. I am your host.
My last thoughts is I will be buying tickets to the Vegas show live when we resume back. I can't wait to see it live, and it was a great episode. I give it 5 feather boas.
5 feather boas. I love that. Jayla, where can the people find you?
Yes, you guys can follow me on the gram and Who is Jayla Rocks. That's 2 X's 3 if you nasty.
And she has a new channel that you guys should follow as well, Remedy TV.
Yes, coming soon.
Coming soon. So stay tuned to the Instagram on Remedy TV for that. You can find me on all platforms at 123 Jackie B. Kenny, where can they find you?
They can find me at Kenny C. Harrison or Kenny Cherison on Instagram. And again, I'm only 25 years old.
And Mark, who is a solid 28.
Wait, bitch, why are you laughing? What was that laugh? That was a cackle.
You can now follow me at I'm a solid 28 on all social media. The Mark J. Freeman. Just look for that. You'll find the rest.
Thank you, guys. See you next week for the finale and for Secret Celebrity.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.